Will Smith and Labuschagne bat Australia into a position of dominance on day 2, or will India bounce back to keep the level on an even keel? Is something which is going to be intriguing to watch. Even though today was a rain curtailed day, lots happened, and let's find out exactly how it all happened on Jatin's scorecard. As I said yesterday, the Sydney pitch is probably the best pitch to bat on amongst the four venues for the 4 test matches, and it certainly played out to its part today. I mentioned yesterday that the team which wins the toss would have no hesitation in batting, and Australia did just that. Warner came out to bat with Pakowski, and I was really surprised to see the kind of fitness levels of David Warner. I expected him to be running a bit more fluently between the wickets, but he appeared to be struggling. For me, it's really surprising to see that an Australian team with such a professional physiotherapy and support staff setup have actually allowed David Warner to play a test match, a crucial test match, in such a stage of fitness, at such a level of fitness. It was clearly evident that he was struggling to run in between the wickets, and the Indians realized that and planned to keep it away from his body a bit, and it paid off immediately. He edged Mohammad Siraj to Cheteshwar Pujara at first slip, smart catch taken, but remains to be seen how Warner will go ahead and do in the rest of the test match. Obviously, the team physiotherapist and Warner feel that the injury is going to get better as he plays more, and they would be hoping for that, because Australia will need a fit David Warner for him to be able to compete at the level at which they expect him to. In physiotherapy terms, there are two terminologies which are used. One is fit to play and fit to perform. Warner didn't look like either in this test match, so it's going to be interesting to watch how he goes. Pakowski, on the other hand, looked like he's meant to be competing at the test level. He reminds me a lot of the ex-Australian batsman called Greg Ritchie. Greg Ritchie obviously had a few more pounds than what Pakowski has on him, but he looked certain. He's got a little bit of an odd technique where he walks across the stumps and plonks his left leg right across his body. But the saving grace for him is, along with that left leg going across his body, his head doesn't fall over. His head stays pretty steady, and from what I saw of him today, I think Australia will give him a long rope. He got a 50 on test debut, which is fantastic for him. I think Australia have found somebody to partner with David Warner for the long term. Labuschagne has been one of the few batsmen in the Australian setup who've looked in fine form. He continued that form today. For his team, he gutsed out the early stages of the innings when the bowlers were on top, and with the rain around, there was a little bit of cloud cover as well. He saw that time out, and he has played a knock which he would want to continue tomorrow, because it's important for Australia that Labuschagne and Steve Smith bat for 2 or maybe 3 sessions tomorrow, and Labuschagne certainly came out with that intent today. He's not the prettiest player in the world to watch, but that's not what counts in cricket. What counts in cricket is what the scorecard says at the end of the day, and certainly Labuschagne is there at the end of the day, and he would want to make it count tomorrow. I'd like to focus on 2 more players before we wrap up today's episode. First is Steve Smith. A lot has been talked in between the second and the third test matches and Smith himself has said that he's allowed Ashwin to get on top, and today he came out looking confident. That's what great players do. They put their failures behind them, the past failures behind them. They know that each day is a new day, and Smith came in today and played a couple of boundaries of Saini, the debutant, and I think that kind of made him feel a little more comfortable and secure at the crease. Remember that Sydney is a favourite hunting ground of Steve Smith. He scored 200s against India in the white ball competition maybe a month and a half back. So he would want to stay there and play a long innings for Australia tomorrow. He found it a little easier against Ashwin because the wicket is so flat and so true, and that kind of helped him a little bit more. But at the same time, India will also have their plans set against Smith tomorrow. I predict that India will try and go round the wicket first thing in the morning tomorrow to him, and get a few balls aimed at his head. And on the other side, I'd be surprised if Ajinkya Rahane doesn't bring Ravindra Jadeja into the attack as soon as possible. Maybe even start with Jadeja tomorrow, because there would be a little bit of moisture under those covers. And as we saw today, a couple of deliveries from Jadeja really gripped. So I think Ajinkya Rahane will try to do something out of the box tomorrow morning against Smith and Labuschagne. Let's talk about R. Ashwin, the guy who's dominated the Test series so far from the Indian bowling lineup. He found the going a little bit tough today. He went at 3+ runs and over, and that's not because he's bowled badly at all. He bowled superbly. There was a dropped catch, Pant dropping Pakowski. If that had been taken, we know what Ashwin does after he takes an early wicket. He really piles on the mastery over the opposition. And I think that dropped catch coupled with a really flat wicket, I think Pakowski played him well, Labuschagne played him well. They waited for the ball which was slightly shorter, moved deep into the crease and drove him for a few boundaries in the cover region. But I think Ashwin will find that tomorrow he would enjoy bowling a little bit more because after lunch the ball will certainly grip tomorrow. What India will have to do is that they will have to continue with two close-in fielders for Ashwin, a short leg and a backward short leg, because I think when he has a slip short leg and a backward short leg, he is a different bowler. Today he moved the backward short leg to short mid-on for 3 or 4 overs. He didn't look as threatening as with that fielder around there. So India will have to maneuver themselves into a position tomorrow where they don't concede runs early on. And I think Ajinkya Rahane's captaincy, a lot has been spoken. There have been heaps of praise showered on him. But tomorrow is going to be a challenge for Ajinkya Rahane as a captain. He will have to think out of the box a little bit to start off with. Like I mentioned, they could start with Jadeja and maybe Saini or even Bumrah coming in round the wicket and peppering both the batsmen with a few in the midriff and towards the chest. But I think it's going to be a challenge for Ajinkya Rahane tomorrow. He will have to maintain some control over this game. He will try and attack for an hour, but after that you might well see that he pushes a couple of fielders as boundary riders, and he will make the Australians kind of earn their runs in singles rather than boundaries. Keep your thoughts coming. I enjoy replying to your messages on Twitter. Keep your questions coming using the Ask Jatin hashtag. If any of these topics, if you feel that you want a deeper explanation to any of these topics, please ask me, and I'll be happy to get back to you on that. Now let's look forward to a intriguing day's play tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of a chess game between India and Australia, and it's going to be fantastic as has been the rest of the series. So I'll catch you at the same time tomorrow. Thank you.